Hey, welcome back. So today, as you can probably tell, we are going to be installing the APR wing to replace our FL5 wing. And this is APR's GT250 wing. I think this is their more track focused wing. As you probably know, if you follow me on Instagram, I have been tracking the car a lot recently. It's already been through 4 track days. Here in a week, it's gonna be on its 5th track day, and then 2 weeks after that, it's gonna be on its 6th track day. The car has performed phenomenally, but I'm trying to take certain corners and stuff a little bit faster, and I could definitely use the downforce to do that. Now, there are a couple other things that I could do to the car to make it go faster around corners, and I actually have some stuff that I'm gonna show you. It's not gonna get installed in this video, but I just want you to be aware, and if you're new here and you're not subscribed, you should subscribe so you can see these installs and how they affect the car. So this isn't really like a permanent thing. These are more of a track tire that I'll be putting on. These are the Eagle F1 Supercar 3Rs. They were made for the Camaro ZL11LE, but Goodyear was like, you know what, this is such a good tire, we're gonna make it available in a whole bunch of other different sizes. So I got it in a 265, 35, 18, which is what I've been running on my ZE40s. So that should be good. I believe this has a stiffer sidewall because the Camaro is like a 4,000 pound car, 4,000 plus pound car. And here, I don't know what the gross weight of this is. Maybe it's like 3,400 pounds. I don't know. But it should be a very good tire on the track. The Michelin Pilot Sports are actually a really good tire on the track, but I would kind of want to try something with 100 tread wear. These are DOT rated, but I would not use these on the street every day. They are good tires, but they are not very good, and this is straight from Goodyear themselves. They're not very good in the rain, and they're not very good in the cold. And that's kind of with any performance tire. But yeah, I believe that if you go on Tire Rack and you look, they even say that you could hydroplane using these tires. So if you plan on streeting these tires ever, if maybe I influence you to get these, just drive very carefully, and they advise you to slow down a lot when it's raining. So we also have Swift Sport Springs that they actually sponsored me, so I'm gonna be making an install video for this, and this is for the FL5 specific. This is not an FK8 Swift Spring. And then we have gyro discs. They were cool enough to send me over some 2-piece rotors. As some of you guys know, the rear of the car, let me brighten this up a little bit, is actually not 2-piece. This is a single-piece design, and the gyro discs are slotted, so that'll be excited. And then the front of the FL5 is 2-piece, but it is not slotted. So we're gonna go ahead and replace both of them and hopefully get some better braking power out of it, or you know, maybe it's just gonna look better, who knows. So on top of that, I have RV6 rear camber arms because we're gonna be lowering the car, and I wanna try and maximize our camber potential with it being mainly what seems to be a track car. I also have this race bred components, like anti-slip. It goes in the floor, so that way your heels aren't slipping when you're doing stuff. So that'll be fun. And I have, I believe, one more thing coming from Acuity. So please, guys, if any of that stuff you think you're gonna enjoy, consider subscribing, so that way, you know, you can be a part of the fam. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. This kit does come with all the hardware that you're going to need. And yeah, something to note, it's kind of a special tool if you're used to just working on regular American type stuff, but this is a Torx tip, and it's a T30 to be specific. Usually you find this in like BMWs. I have yet to run into a Torx tip in this car until now. The wing bolts are actually Torx tips, which was interesting. So be aware that if you're going to do your own wing, you might need this, or maybe another tool that I'm not aware of. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start by just removing the 3 T30 Torx bolts on each side, and it'll take this centerpiece out. That way we can just have the brackets to worry about. And make sure you're holding onto the wing so it doesn't fall on top of you. There you go. That's how you take the center section off. All right, so now that we took off the wing, it's time to take the brackets off. And in order to do that, we have to start taking apart the back of the hatch. And yeah, let's just go ahead and start taking it all apart. I've already showed how to do this in previous videos, but I'll still give you a quick rundown. There are some screws that need to be taken out, and they're both in here. And I'll go ahead and show you. So there is one screw in there. It's a Phillips. And then one in here. Again, Phillips. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, next is just the prying portion of all this. So take a plastic trim removal tool and just start making your way across. There you go. And just like that, it comes out. All right, so next is going to be actually getting, I believe they're 10 millimeter. There should be three 10 mils. So yeah, let's go ahead and take those out. Okay, so we have 3 10 millimeter bolts on each side to take off the brackets, and they are easily accessible just right through here. Let's turn up the brightness a little bit. And these are gonna be the 3 10 millimeters that we will be taking out. Super easy. Okay, so for the last one, it'd be very smart of you to hold the bracket and then unscrew the bolt. Then you can let go of the bracket, and hopefully the bolt will come out without falling inside. Oh, amazing. All right, now we got to do the other side. All right, there we go. Now, the stock wing is completely off. As you can see, that wasn't too bad. And now we just gotta unwrap the APR wing and yeah, put it all together. Okay, I need to take some pieces off. These are the brackets that they come with, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but here is the left side, and then the right side, I would imagine that is also marked. So let's set that off to the side for right now. All right, we got a bunch of other hardware. So I believe those are the brackets, and these are the actual mounting brackets themselves to the hatch. Yes. So these are going to be the brackets. These are going to be the mounts that go onto the hatch, and then go onto the bracket, and then go onto the wing. But these are what seems to be also marked with a little R right there. And Yep, there's an L right there, so that way you know which side. That way you can't mess this up. It's a little, seems to be dummy proof. And we also got our gaskets that are gonna go right there. That way we don't get water inside of our hatch. And then you got the new hardware. So this is a 3M gasket, so it's very sticky. So you only really got about one shot with this. So flat side to flat side. Let's see if I can do this while on camera. All right, so it's not the prettiest as you saw, but it'll get the job done, I would think. Okay, so the right side, definitely the prettier out of the two sides, but we got it on there. Now we can actually mount those. I have my bolt, lock washer, and washer, and I'm just gonna put a little dab of blue Loctite. I know it's probably overkill. Don't put too much, but I just don't want this wing falling out. Again, a lot of you guys are probably gonna roast me in the comment section, but yeah, I'd rather just not have my wing bracket come off at all. But I don't think it's necessary. I'm just going a little extra with this. So these brackets do only go one way, you can't mess it up. Obviously it's gonna mount to the shape of this. As you can see, there is a shape to that, and it matches what's going to be on the mount. So you can't really mess it up too much. The trick to this is gonna be to try, well, the trick is gonna be trying to be very careful when installing these bolts, because it could fall. So I did wipe off a good amount of the blue Loctite. I'm just putting like very small amount, because if I ever have to take this off, I don't want the bolt to break, and APR doesn't say that that's necessary. So I'm keeping all this hardware relatively loose still until I get the whole wing put together. That way everything kind of sets into place, and then when I have it where I want it, I'll go ahead and tighten everything up. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, some of you might not know this, there's a difference between blue Loctite and red Loctite. So if you decide you want to do Loctite, be very careful not to get red. Red is actually permanent Loctite, blue is non-permanent Loctite. So if you do use red, you're gonna have a really hard time taking bolts out in the future. Now, it's time to install the actual brackets. APR does provide you with the hardware that you're gonna need. It's gonna be a little Allen key bolt, a washer, and a 10mm nut. So they even provide you with the Allen key that you need, so that way you don't have to use your own. All right, so I went ahead and put the right side on as well. And one thing to keep in mind is be careful with your Allen key, especially if you're using a power tool with a lot of torque. It could, you know, swing once this has torque if you're not holding it right, and it could scrape your paint. I didn't do that, but I saw that that might be a potential thing that could happen. So, you know, if you're using power tools, just be very careful. All right, so now it's time for the big boy. Let's see. So here it is. The wing in all its glory. I'm not gonna lie, this looks freaking amazing. All right, so now all we gotta do is at least mount it onto here with one bolt. It'll actually cradle right there. So you can just set it on there beautifully. The way that it goes is two brackets on the wing go on the outside of the bracket that connects to the car. And we put one bolt through and one bolt through. There we go. Now that you have the wing set where you want it to, we can go back underneath the hatch and fully tighten those 10 millimeters that hold the part that attaches to the car, the bracket that attaches to the car. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So now that everything is pretty much bolted into place, what's left to do is put the end plates to the actual wing, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, so the end plates come wrapped up. There's the two plates. So imagine that it goes just like that. You can choose which angle you want it to go. Hopefully we can get them to match. What's also cool is that APR's little hardware bag for that part specifically, the end plates, they actually have their logo and, well, their name on there, APR Performance. So that's a pretty nice touch. When you're tightening this down, just don't overdo it, because this is carbon fiber, and even though carbon fiber is pretty strong, it's still fragile. So for these end plates, I'm just gonna try and level them out on a leveler so they match on each side and they kind of level to the car. It's hard for me to do that right now, trying to level it with the car, because the car is actually, my garage goes on a decline. So I'm just gonna match it up with each other for now, and then when I get to a flatter surface, I'll try and level it with the car. But I'm just eyeballing it right now with the car. I think it should be fine. All right, well, that's pretty much it. I mean, it looks freaking phenomenal. I mean, how can you not love that, dude? Hold on, let's go back further. I know my garage is a mess. I'll take some more shots outside, but sheesh, that looks so good. There's the APR logo with the bolts. I know some of you really didn't appreciate the two wing setup on here, which is fine. It's not for everybody. I know I'm gonna get some hater comments, but I personally think it looks good. Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Smash the like button so you can help me out, help the channel grow, so I can keep making content like this. And yeah, stay tuned, because as I told you in the beginning of the video, we have a lot more to come. This car is pretty much at one point or another going to be a dedicated track car. I do want to compete next race season, so we are going to aim for that and get this car as ready as we possibly can. So please continue to support the channel. Everything, well, I got a bunch of affiliate links down below in the description. I don't have an affiliate link for this. APR did sponsor it. I still had to pay for it, but they did sponsor it. So any affiliates that I'm currently with, their links are gonna be down below. So go ahead and check those out. And if you wanna see my previous content, go ahead and check out the video over here. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.